Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this. Liverpool news, Arne Slot doesn't trust Red Star as player claims that's me done. Liverpool's loss to Manchester. City marked the second time in a row that the Premier League champions have entered the international break following a defeat. The Reds were defeated 3-0 this past Sunday, marking their fifth league loss in 6 games. While Arne Slot's side looked to have turned a corner in their 2-0 win against Aston Villa, which they followed up with a 1-0 triumph over Real Madrid, morale hit a new low at the Etihad Stadium. Thoroughly outclassed by the citizens, the defeat left the Reds in 8th, 8 points off league leaders Arsenal after just 11 games played. With the third international break of the season underway, Slot is once again under immense pressure to drag the Reds out of crisis in what has been a dismal defense of their title. YNWA. Football takes a look at the latest news coming out of Anfield as the Dutchman has been called out for apparently distrusting one of his summer signings, while one Red Star previously believed his future lay away from Merseyside. Milos Kerkez's verdict. It's been a difficult first few months for most of Liverpool's summer acquisitions, with Milos Kerkez noticeably struggling to adapt to life at Anfield. Despite being one of the Premier League's best fullbacks last season at Bournemouth, the Hungarian has failed to show the same sort of form that convinced the Reds to fork out $40 million for his services. The 22-year-old began the season as Slot's first-choice left-back over Andy Robertson, but the veteran has won back his place and has started the last 3 matches across all competitions. His relegation to the bench has left Chris Sutton convinced that he has lost the confidence of the manager. Speaking on the BBC's Monday Night Club podcast, the ex-Chelsea striker said, "Arne Slot hung his hat on Kerkez at the start of the season. Robertson was out in the cold, and all of a sudden, I think he has lost faith in Kerkez." Connor Bradley claim. In what was an indifferent start to the season for Connor Bradley, the Northern Irishman has returned to form of late, with impressive performances against Aston Villa and Real Madrid. The 22-year-old was seen as the Reds' long-term replacement for Trent Alexander-Arnold, but the signing of Jeremy Frimpong poured doubt on that prospect. It was only in May when Bradley signed a new 4-year contract after becoming a valuable squad member under Jurgen Klopp and now Slot. It was during the YNWA campaign that he had his breakthrough, but prior to that, he had serious questions surrounding his Anfield future during his loan spell to Bolton Wanderers. Speaking last year, he said, "They told me that they wouldn't forget about me when I was out on loan. But at the time, you don't really believe it. You think, a loan, that's sort of me done here. But you have to keep working hard. I played around 50 games for Bolton, and it was the best thing for me at that time. It turned me into what I am now. It changed me from a boy into a man. I'm so grateful for the opportunity Bolton gave me to go and play so many games there. It got me ready for coming back at Liverpool and giving it my best shot." Bradley endured a troublesome night at the Etihad Stadium, going up against Jeremy Doku, but certainly put his best foot forward against the tricky Belgian. His performance in an otherwise dour night for the reigning champions saw him earn praise from Pep Guardiola. The City boss said, "Connor, the right back, I was really impressed with. Pep Linder said he could do everything. I know the game against Madrid, how good he was against Vinicius. And Jeremy Doku handled it, aggressive with and without the ball. He played an outstanding game." Liverpool transfer offer being prepared as Dominik Szoboszlai monitored. Liverpool's Premier League title defense is falling apart after Sunday's 3-0 defeat at Manchester City. The Reds have now suffered 4 consecutive away defeats in the league for the first time since 2012. Arne Slot's side are 8 points behind league leaders Arsenal after just 11 matches, leading many to question whether their title defense is over already. Slot's team will also be worried about their prospects of securing a place in next season's Champions League. The Reds currently find themselves outside the European spots, languishing in 8th place. The November international break may have arrived at the right time for Slot's men, who returned to action on November 22nd at home to Nottingham Forest. Below are some of the latest media reports surrounding Liverpool. Bastoni offer being prepared. Mundo Deportivo report that following the long-term injury to Giovanni, Leone and the potential departure of Ibrahima Konate next summer, Liverpool are working to strengthen their defense ahead of the January transfer window. The Reds have reportedly set their sights on Inter Milan center-back Alessandro Bastoni, who is under contract until 2028. It is said that Liverpool are aware of his value and are preparing an offer of at least 100 million, around 88 million. Szoboszlai being monitored. Claim that Real Madrid and Manchester City are closely monitoring Liverpool midfielder Dominik Szoboszlai, and the Reds are increasingly worried about his contract situation and long-term future at Anfield. The 25-year-old reportedly earns $130,000, around $114,000 a week, with the report stating that it is a negligible figure compared to players in the same position at other top European clubs. It is said that Liverpool are keen to extend his contract until 2030 and reward his excellent performance with a pay rise. Szoboszlai has been touted as a future Liverpool captain, but the midfielder has insisted there is no need for him to join a formal leadership group at present. "We have enough leaders with Virgil, with Mo, with Robbo, with Ali," he told ESPN. "They have been here longer, some of them 7 or 8 years here, the captain and vice-captains. I just try to do my best on the pitch. If it seems like I am a leader, then I'll keep doing that on the pitch, not outside the pitch." Liverpool receive January transfer boost as Mark Guehi alternative opens door to move. Liverpool are on red alert after it emerged that Nico Schlotterbeck is refusing to sign a new contract with Borussia Dortmund. The Premier League champions want to sign a center-back in 2026, with Ibrahima Konate's deal set to expire at the end of this season. Mark Guehi was their top target in the summer transfer window, but the move collapsed on deadline day. Liverpool had their bid of $35 million accepted before Crystal Palace suddenly decided not to sell at the 11th hour. With his own contract expiring next summer, Guehi will be free to sign a pre-contract with a foreign club when the January transfer window opens. Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich have all been linked, presenting Liverpool with hot competition. Schlotterbeck, 25, is an alternative option for the Reds after 3.5 impressive seasons in Dortmund. Liverpool's chances have now received a boost, as the Germany international is reportedly refusing to extend his contract, which expires in 2027. The reason, according to Bild, is tension with Dortmund manager Nico Kovac. Schlotterbeck is said to be unhappy with Kovac's pragmatic style of play. The Bundesliga giants started the season unbeaten before a 2-1 loss against Bayern last month. They're yet to win in November after a 4-1 defeat away to Manchester City in the Champions League and Saturday's frustrating 1-1 draw with newly promoted Hamburg, in which Schlotterbeck scored. Dortmund want to keep him and would be willing to hand him a new deal until 2030. The ex-Freiburg prospect would receive a significant 2.2 pay rise, taking his earnings to 8 meters or 7 meters per year. Bayern are also interested, and Dortmund are no strangers to being stripped of their assets by the German champions. Dortmund CEO Lars Ricken recently said when asked about Schlotterbeck, "We will not rush into anything. But of course we don't want to drag it out indefinitely. Everyone is aware of that." As for Schlotterbeck, he commented after losing to Bayern, "I still have over 1.5 years left on my contract. I'll sit down with Sebastian, Kale, sporting director, work out a plan and see where it leads. I feel very comfortable in Dortmund and have no problem continuing on this path. But it's obviously an important decision for my career." Liverpool did sign a center-back in the summer, Giovanni Leone, paying Parma 26 million for the 18-year-old. Unfortunately for both Leone and Liverpool, the Italian is set to be ruled out for a year after tearing his anterior cruciate ligament on his Reds debut. Andrew Robertson makes Liverpool transfer reveal after accepting situation. Andrew Robertson claims he is relaxed about his Liverpool future, but has accepted that this could be his final season at the club. The Scottish fullback is out of contract next summer and could leave for nothing in just 6 months' time. he was linked with a move away from Liverpool in the most recent window, having been usurped in the Liverpool pecking order by summer signing Milos Kerkez. Atletico Madrid were reportedly interested in him but failed to agree to deal, and while Robertson has regained his spot under Arne Slot, his future remains uncertain. The Scottish defender, 31, however, remains laid back about the situation and confirms talks will take place with club chiefs when appropriate. I think last season everyone was bored of talking about the three lads, Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. But for me, the relationship between me and the club has been a wonderful one, Robertson said. They've done everything for me in terms of me and my family. I think I've not been too bad for them in terms of signing from Hull for $8 million and what I've done. Whatever happens will happen behind closed doors, and I'm relaxed about the whole situation. If it is my last year, then it's my last year. If it's not, then so be it. But I think obviously I had a bit of a stressful summer in terms of decisions and things like that. And I've said to myself to just try and enjoy the next few months, and then obviously it will start probably taking over my life. I've got no doubt about that. Robertson added, "That's what happens when you go into your last 6 months. I'm just trying to focus on football now. I am delighted to be back on the pitch, delighted to be back playing the last few games. That's important, and let's see what happens. But I'm relaxed about the whole thing, and the club has been amazing for me." Robertson joined Liverpool from Hull City in 2017, and he has gone on to make 354 appearances in all competitions for the Reds. In that time, he has helped Liverpool to win 2 Premier League titles, the Champions League, the FA Cup, and 2 League Cups, while the club also claimed the FIFA Club World Cup under former boss Jurgen Klopp. Man Utd could be forced into January transfer panic after making similar mistake to Liverpool, Manchester United, and Liverpool both made similar blunders during the summer transfer window, just at opposite ends of the field. The Reds' failure to landmark Guehi left them short of experienced options in defense, and it didn't take long for that problem to be compounded by Giovanni Leone's potentially season-ending injury. Now, Liverpool finds itself in a position where a further injury to either Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate, or Joe Gomez would leave the team without a genuine backup center-back in the squad. January would be the earliest opportunity that the Reds could look to rectify the issue, so Arne Slot will be keeping his fingers crossed that his team gets to the new year with no further concerns at the back. Similarly to Liverpool, arch-rival United lacks squad depth in a key position, but it is at the sharp end of the pitch where Ruben Amorim's concerns lie. Benjamin Sesko is the only genuine striker in United's squad, although Brian Mbeumo and Matthias Cunha have played through the middle at times this term. Sesko sustained a knee injury against Tottenham on Saturday, ruling him out of international duty during the 2-week break, and it is not clear when he will return to action. Just as Liverpool could be tempted to secure a new defender in January, United may be tempted to enter the transfer market for a stopgap solution up front, regarding possible defensive targets for Liverpool. Meanwhile, Alessandro Bastoni of Inter Milan has reportedly emerged as an alternative option to Guehi, who remains the Reds' first-choice target. Guehi looks set to leave Palace for free when his contract expires at the end of the season, and Liverpool is expected to face stiff competition for his services. Liverpool effectively had a free run at Guehi earlier this year, but several big European clubs would no doubt view him as an appealing proposition on a free transfer in 2026. Liverpool is short of options in the center of defense at the moment. With the deadline day collapse of Guehi's move, coupled with Leone's long-term knee injury leaving the team with just Van Dijk, Konate, and Gomez. There are currently question marks over all 3 players' futures. As Van Dijk turns 35 next summer, while Konate is set to become a free agent next year, and Liverpool was open to selling Gomez in each of Arne Slot's summers in charge. Liverpool management, annoyed by summer transfer. Liverpool's management are reportedly annoyed by a summer transfer. On paper, it seemed like Richard Hughes had conducted the perfect window prior to the start of the season. Liverpool's sporting director didn't have it easy, but he delivered in putting together important foundations. In the process, he beat rivals to the signatures of key players. Florian Wirtz and Milos Kerkez both rejected Manchester City in order to join the Reds. Hugo Ekitike rejected Newcastle, Manchester United, and Chelsea. Meanwhile, Alexander Isak only ever wanted to join Liverpool and no one else. Yet, looking back at the window with the value of hindsight, it feels like Hughes's job may not have been as perfect as it first seemed. Liverpool's results over the last few months have been abysmal. This was a side who were supposed to fight for the Premier League title. Now, Arne Slot's side are 8 points behind and pretty much already look out of the title. Race after just 11 matches, performances have been poor. Liverpool look like a shadow of themselves, and their squad depth looks even weaker than it did last season, when Slot's downfall in the Champions League was ultimately his lack of rotation. In the process, Liverpool's squad also looks imbalanced, and we are starting to see what Hughes didn't do. He failed to replace Luis Diaz, which is costing Liverpool at the moment. On top of that, he's also failed to address Liverpool's centre-back department. Obviously, Liverpool got unlucky with Giovanni Leone's injury ruling him out of the rest of the season. But as a result of that, Hughes's ultimate failure to sign Mark Guehi has proved to be costly. Liverpool wanted to sign the England international, and it looked like it was going to happen until Crystal Palace pulled the plug on the deal at the last minute. Now, according to a report from Indy Kayla, Liverpool's management are annoyed that they didn't get the transfer over the line in the summer. Their annoyance is understandable. Liverpool paid every respect to Palace, not engaging in negotiations until after the Community Shield. They had agreed to everything and paid the amount Palace wanted. The fact that Palace pulled out of that transfer so late on was infuriating. It's why Liverpool are also now way more likely to sign him on a free transfer when his contract expires at the end of the season than to negotiate with Palace again in January.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. See you next time.